Welcome to the Grizzled Geek. I'm Mike.
And I'm Doug.
And today we're talking Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Boom. Knocked it out of the park.
Oh my God. Well, a good DC.
A good DC movie.
Yes.
I know there was rumors that there might have been some issues with it.
Yeah, we reported on that quite a bit. Everyone was
right,
like, I'm not sure, but
they had to do reshoots and stuff.
No,
so
it's good.
It was good.
Easily the best of the DC Universe movies, although that's not a high bar.
Right.
Really,
yeah.
but this
and by that we mean Man of Steel on.
Man of Steel
so there's
on.
three movies.
Right. We're not talking Dark Knight or anything like that.
We're not talking the Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy.
Everyone's saying it's like, it's finally about time. Finally, for the first time, we get a female-led superhero movie, which is not true. We've actually had
accurate.
What accurately would be to say it's the best.
It's a good
female superhero movie. We've had like Elektra and Catwoman and other female-led superhero. Yeah, but it's not. None of them have been any good.
They just were not good movies.
This movie was treated like a blockbuster superhero movie, and it shows.
Yep.
It's just, it's a phenomenal movie. Patty Jenkins, she's already done the impossible by making Charlize Theron ugly in Monster. Never thought that would be possible, but she pulled it off, so I figured, she could do that.
Right.
She could direct.
And now she's the highest grossing female director of all time.
Yes, rightfully so. Yeah. But, all right, let's get into it here. What do we think? Obviously, we liked it.
Yeah.
Like the movie.
Yeah, this will be our pre-spoiler stuff.
Right.
We're going to do a little quick rundown of the general idea, and then we'll get into spoilers.
All right, Doug. What did this movie get right that Zack Snyder is not in his movies?
The tone. The tone was a lot different. This was a fun movie.
Yes.
This is a fun superhero movie. If you look at what Marvel has done right, there are few of those movies that, and I can't think of any off the top of my head, that don't have fun elements in every movie.
Yes, even the heavy ones.
Yeah, even the ones that get really kind of serious and kind of heavy material, they're all fun. I would not say Batman versus Superman had any moment like that. Yeah, except for maybe the parts that were just Batman and Wonder Woman. Those were kind of fun, and I think that's a lot to do with Gal Gadot. Is really. She's really comfortable with the character, and she makes it a lot of fun.
Right. Okay. So I personally think you're right. I think even the overall tone of the movie, DC movies tend to be, well, especially Zack Snyder, dark and brooding.
Yeah.
Right. Not since Christopher Reeve's Superman movies have they been, had hope. Right. Even the Superman reboot, the first attempt, Superman Returns.
Oh,
that was kind of
Homewrecker Superman.
Homewrecker Superman, creepy stalker Superman. Yeah. Even that one didn't have the kind of the tone the first ones didn't. Of course, Batman movies, he's dark and brooding.
Right.
The lightest tone there was the George Clooney one, which we won't even talk about that.
Let's not count that one.
Yeah. But they're all dark. This movie is about hope, right? This movie is about hope and sacrifice and fighting for love, and it's just good. You feel good after coming out of that movie.
Yeah, and I think everyone hopefully at Warner Brothers is paying attention. Mm-hmm. Superhero movies should at the end of the day be about good triumphing over evil, even if there are little setbacks along the way, even if they're only minor victories. That's what the Star Wars movies got right. That's what the Marvel movies get right. So and even if you look at DC's TV universe, they get that right. Yeah. They have heroes face setbacks and hardships, but in the end, it's all about good is going to triumph over evil in the end. It's
a hero story.
Yeah,
a hero's journey. And that's what it's about. You look at this movie and it's. People talk about the significance of the movie, and I agree. You see women and little girls come out of this movie, right, and they're all pumped up. They're like guys coming out of a Rocky movie, right? Wanting to take on the world, and you get that. And it wasn't until that you realize that they really haven't had that before, right? You take it for granted being a guy, in the superhero movie world. Right. But it's my wife, probably one of the biggest Wonder Woman. fans I know, oh man, she was just crazy after this thing. So, But yeah, it's great. I mean, there's nothing more I can say about
Without getting into
spoilers, which we will here in a minute. Go see this movie. If you are a comic book fan at all, this is the movie. If you have a daughter in the house, take her to see this movie.
Yeah. And this will put hope back into the DC universe.
It is.
For people. If you were down on DC and thought, oh man, this is DC, blah.
I'm now once again excited to see Justice League.
Yeah.
If only, we know at least Wonder Woman is going to be good.
Yeah. Well, and I think, like I said, from Batman versus Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman were the best parts of that movie.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to seeing them both in a movie again.
Right.
Together. So.
Even if Batman has a mech, I'm still riding around in some kind of leg crawler thing.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, his little bat bot. But we'll see. That's a different show.
Now we're going to go into what we liked, what we didn't like. But
yeah, so spoilers.
All those are going to be spoilers. So if you haven't seen a movie, go see it. Come back, watch our rest of this for spoilers. But we can give you a few minutes. All right,
well,
2 seconds.
Yeah.
All right. Spoilers. Here we go. Not necessarily right off the bat. Let's talk about what was your favorite part about the movie?
Ooh, my favorite part. And this is hard to break down. I liked all of the scenes that were Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor together.
Yeah, they had great chemistry.
They were Chris Pine and Gal Gadot were awesome together, and I liked the juxtaposition. That he was essentially the Black Widow to her Captain America, if you want to give a superhero kind of reference.
Right.
Yeah, he's awesome, but he's totally overshadowed by her, and you can tell that that was the intentional flip flop the male
the
female. He's the sidekick in this, So I liked most of those scenes. Now some of them we'll talk about when we go into what didn't like. There were some that were a little over the top, but yeah. They were always fun, them interacting. And not even the action scenes. A lot of their just personal time where he's trying to explain the world to her.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Those were fun.
Right. Okay, I think my favorite scene is probably almost everybody's favorite scene, the whole No Man's Land.
Oh, yeah.
Where she becomes Wonder Woman, that is a scene where she becomes
the reveal and everything, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Where she actually decides to help the villagers. This is what I'm here to do. This is what I'm going to do.
Right.
But I think, I don't know. I think I even more than that, I think I like the opening Amazon scene.
The stuff on the Amazon island was fun with her training and learning what she could do.
The whole bit, all the way up through the battle. When the Germans hit the island, even that battle, because the Amazons are bad, but they're awesome. Amazing fighters taking on people with guns, with bows and arrows,
but they weren't
swords.
They weren't. But
they weren't invincible. Yeah,
which was good. Made it more realistic. Gave weight to her thinking, "Oh man, I got to stop this."
Right. Exactly.
This Ares is a bad deal.
It wasn't like Germans invading Asgard. They just totally get whipped up.
Right.
But here they were awesome. They were bad, but they weren't there was a threat there. They died.
Yeah.
So I really like that. I liked how they did the reveal of the island through the mist, when they poked his head through.
Oh, yeah. That was really cool. Yeah.
That was really cool. I don't know.
There was a lot to love about the movie. I mean, you could go on and on about great scenes and stuff like that. So
let's dive into the actors then. Why don't we go with, let's start off with Gal Gadot herself, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect casting.
Really?
I would have a hard time seeing anybody else as Wonder Woman, having seen her in the role.
Right. I think she, excuse me. I think she did a good job as Wonder Woman. I don't know if she was the best actress. I was a little concerned, some people she was kind of small, right? But she's fine. She carries it, pulls it off. Physically, there wasn't a whole lot. She conveyed a lot of emotion, right? But I think I don't know. I was worried a little bit about her, her acting. She didn't give her a ton, but what she did well was emoting, like
Right.
all the time she was like her being curious about the world, or her feelings towards the people. It was you could see it all.
Right.
It was,
Her concern for the plight of the innocent people who were affected by the war. Yeah.
Right.
She was really good at that.
But I agree with you. I don't think now that she's Wonder Woman, I can't see anybody else doing it.
Right.
She's good. So, what about Chris Pine here, the third sexiest Chris in Hollywood?
I liked him as Steve Trevor. Again, spoilers. I hate the fact that they killed him off at the end of the movie. I would like to see more of him as Steve Trevor.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a little tough to do, as this was a period piece. They went back to World War I.
Right.
So, unless it were flashbacks in a future Wonder Woman movie,
Right.
it'd be hard. But I wish they'd left that open, because he was really good in this spot. He was really good at the, the kind of world weary, been at war too long, but fascinated by Diana.
Right.
And, kind of bemused by her trying to get used to the world, and, willing to bring what he obviously had to think of as this crazy person with him along all this
way. You saw what you could do, though. I mean, a little bit. It wasn't until the No Man's Land scene that he really realized how that she was.
Oh, wow. All right, go with her.
Yeah, exactly. No, I always like Chris Pine. I like him in anything he does.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Captain Kirk, so.
Yeah, yep. And good. Yeah, he's good at it. He did very well.
Super charismatic. He's got the charisma of he's got the looks of Chris Evans and the charisma of Chris Pratt.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
our amalgam of Chris's in superhero movies.
Yeah, you can only relate him to other Chris's.
Yeah.
But I think he's great. The supporting cast was cool. I mean, they didn't have much screen time.
Yeah, they made a big deal out of his secretary, and I'm sorry, I don't know the actor's name or even what the character's name was.
Etta Candy.
Oh, yeah, Etta Candy.
She's from the comics.
Yeah, she is from the comics, and she got, as funny as she got precious little screen time. It was a long movie that went really fast when you're sitting down watching it. You're like, it was nonstop. Even what you would think of as the slow parts, the character moments, they still seem to go by pretty quick, and I didn't feel like she got enough time, which again is disappointing because she's in the past. Now we go back to the modern day, you're not going to have her. So that was kind of a bummer. Right. But she was really good. And I loved their team.
Yeah.
Chief and the Scottish guy whose name escapes me right now.
Scottish sniper, yeah.
The Scottish sniper, and then, their, I guess, North African... he wasn't exactly a smuggler. He was an actor who was also
he was a con man
kind of thing. Yeah, he was the face of their A team. Yeah, okay.
Right. I mean, but that's how, I don't remember their names. That's how much screen time they got. And how much, I mean, they were cool characters, but they were just no time to develop.
Yeah.
I mean, the Scottish guy a little bit, but not.
And there was enough time for you to care about them.
Yeah.
And there was.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we thought they were cool, but
Yeah, they were a cool team that brought I guess a human level to it, and kind of brought back. I think they were there obviously for Diana to play off of emotionally. Right. You've got a confident guy. You've got the Native American whose people have suffered a lot, and he's kind of morally ambiguous, at least to her initially, but is working with Steve Trevor, even when he tells her, his people stole my land and stuff like that. So
they were the wide swath of humanity to give her, because she had no idea. She's told all her life that the mankind was great and noble, but they were corrupted by Ares and that. Mm-hmm. So this team, this wide group, this elected group of guys, that was her window into mankind, right? They're not all good, they're not all bad. They're they're complex, right? And each one of them, is complex in their own way. Right. And then, finding out that, that the chief, the Native American, has suffered, and she finds out, tells them that it was Trevor's people that did it. Right? You're starting to realize that there's there's more to it than just the face value here.
Not
right?
everybody's perfect.
Right. It's all pretty gray.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what they served, and they did a good job of that. I mean.
Again, there's that, much like in Captain America with, the Howling Commandos, you're like, I want more of these guys.
Right, yeah.
I wish there were time for more of them, but...
There are quite a few similarities between this and Captain America. I'm obviously wearing my Captain America shirt for the Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Wearing my only DC shirt, which is a Batman one.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, and that's not a bad thing. The similarities between the two, not bad at all. I mean, they're not. It's not a copy. It's its own thing.
Yeah, they both. Well, yeah, they picked two different wars, which to kind of differentiate themselves, I guess. But they didn't really need to because they were tackling two different kinds of stories.
Right.
Both did well. I love both of the period movies. They're some of my favorites in superhero genre.
Right.
Yeah, I'm getting to the point where the non-traditional superhero movies are my favorite superhero movies. So in that sense, this ranks really high on my list.
Yeah.
This is obviously the best DC movie, and I would put
Man of Steel forward.
Yeah. Well, and I would go back to, if you go back to the modern DC movie, going back to Batman.
I think the only one that ranks higher would be Dark Knight.
And possibly Batman, because it was the start of that.
Yeah.
And it was so kind of iconic.
But it's up there. I'd put it up there.
But yeah, it's easily
Neck and neck with Batman.
It's easily second or third on the list of DC movies in the modern time. Not going back to 70s Superman, because that's kind of hard to.
Right.
70s and 80s Superman is kind of hard to judge against these because they're totally different types of movies.
This is probably a better movie than those movies, but the nostalgia of the first.
True, yeah. That's why I'm not even trying to compare them.
You can't compare those two. We owe superhero movies to, Steve Donner's Christopher Reeve, Superman. So, but
and then I would even put this ahead of some Marvel movies. I'm a big, I'm a huge
definitely.
Marvel fan, and I've liked everything they've done, but this is better than some of them.
It's better than.
I would put it probably in the middle of the pack because they've done.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is, they've done the tone so right that this feels like somebody at Warner Brothers or maybe just Patty Jenkins going off on her own paid attention and went, that's how you're supposed to do a superhero movie.
Right.
Let's go that way. But yeah, it's up there. It is a good superhero movie.
Yes.
In all respects.
It makes me want to see more. And it makes me a little sad because the chemistry that they had in this movie, especially Chris Pine and Gal Gadot, makes me sad that that's going to be replaced by her and Ben Affleck as Batman. And not that Ben Affleck's bad.
No, I liked him as Batman.
I liked him as Batman, but it's a totally different.
It's a totally different dynamic. There's a little teasing, flirting going on, but there's not really any
they're not gonna
chemistry like that.
Yeah. So. It's going to be there's going to be obvious comparisons to the two, but it's going to be hard to beat. Chris Pine's chemistry with her.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're Patty Jenkins. Did you watch Monster? Have you seen anything else she's done?
No, I have not.
It's a good movie. But,
I've heard all. I mean, obviously, it won an Academy Award. It's just not my type of movie. I'm not big into those. Kind of. I like superhero movies because I like watching movies about the best of humanity, not the worst
of it.
Of humanity. I don't need to watch movies about how horrible people can be.
I do. I got to watch that stuff. And it's got Charlize Theron in it, which I'll watch anything of her. Even when she's ugly, I'll watch that.
True.
So, but yeah, it was a really good movie. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more of her stuff going forward. Hopefully, she's going to blow up from this.
I mean, definitely. Warner Brothers is stupid if there isn't a follow-up in the works, and they would. Yeah, they should pay Patty Jenkins whatever she wants to be involved in the second one.
Yeah.
Even if she doesn't direct it, if she produces, whatever. I hope she directs it, but even if she doesn't, keep her on as a producer or something, because she obviously had a vision for this movie, and it was really good.
Right.
It was a great tone, so they need that still with them.
And I hear a lot of people saying that this is going to open the door for other female directors, right? I mean, hopefully studios will see that,
Well, and I hope this
cast a wider net when looking for directors.
Yeah, and I hope this parlays. I mean, I think most people who are comic book movie fans don't care if it's DC or Marvel.
No.
They just want a good comic book movie. So I hope this parlays into Captain Marvel getting the attention it deserves too. And
you see all the people from Marvel tweeting or praising Wonder Woman.
Other than Chris Hemsworth, I didn't.
It's Chris Evans. It was like
Well, good.
Yeah,
they
great.
should. I mean, it's a good movie. It does.
Yes.
Who cares that there's? I don't know how much rivalry there is between Disney and Warner Brothers or Marvel versus DC on this. I would hope that Marvel would want them to do well.
I mean, they're obviously
competing for market share, but I think there's.
But a strong Marvel is good for DC. Strong DC is good for Marvel.
Yeah.
Just saying in any of these industries, and I don't think that. I think the biggest wedge between the two is from the fans that are like hardcore. They're the ones that keep the war going. I think a lot of people just want a good movie, regardless of where it's from. And I like DC stuff and I like Marvel stuff.
Right.
Coming to the comics, I read more Marvel than DC, but I still go to every superhero movie regardless. So, but all right. So, good movie, good direction, good acting.
Now we need to talk about what went wrong.
Well,
no, because
we already said it's middle of the road for Marvel, top for DC.
Middle of the road sounds bad because honestly, there are only really 3. I think I'm accurate in saying there's 3 Marvel movies that weren't great.
Yes.
That were just, they were pretty good.
Yes.
In my mind. And I know a lot of people think Iron Man 3 was a great movie. It wasn't a great movie. It was a good movie, but it had some real problems.
Yeah.
And I would not say that there was anything in Wonder Woman that was horrible. There were no scenes, nothing in there that I'm just like, oh, that was crap. There was some stuff that I was like, that's a misstep. You should not have done that.
Okay.
And most of it comes at the end of the movie.
All right. So what didn't you like?
I didn't like the just random assortment of powers that she got at the end of the movie.
Right.
The kind of like, well, we need to prove that she's a god or a goddess, I guess, in this sense, which I think is a New 52 thing.
Yeah, she's Zeus's daughter.
Which is fine. That makes her a demigod like Hercules.
Right.
Cool. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Right.
This random assortment of I can do anything kind of thing was crap. I said there wasn't anything that was horrible. That was crap. Now it only plays out as one scene being bad, and that's when Ares sends like all kinds of crap flying at her, and instead of doing the little cool bracer thing she does that blasts it all back, it just kind of disintegrates before it gets to her. And in this slow-mo scene where it's like obvious everything is disintegrating, and then she does the thing. She doesn't even slam the bracers together. I think she just kind of goes like this, and Ares goes flying back.
Yeah.
That was poorly done. The whole Ares fight was...
The whole ending was very... I don't know.
It didn't live up to what had come before, which was all so good.
Like, the Doomsday fight was better. People compare it to the two, but at least in the Doomsday fight, there was more action going on with it. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was more action. I mean, just a CGI fest at the end, a bunch of crap flying around, and I mean, the whole Ares thing.
I liked the twist for Ares. That was because you spend the whole. I liked the twist, but there was a problem with it. I liked that it didn't turn out to be, again, spoilers. If you're obviously if you've gotten this far, you know it's spoilers. It doesn't turn out to be the German general.
No.
It turns out to be. What's that?
I never thought it was going to be him.
Well, yeah, I didn't know where they were going with that. Certainly, I mean, once they played off of each other on screen, I knew right away that it was the British guy, whatever he was, a minister or something like that. Like, oh, okay, this is the dude. Here's the twist. But the fact that the German general was somehow able to fight her because he inhaled some fumes, that was never explained satisfactorily. I don't... Because even when the chemist gave him the stuff and he sniffed it in and it did that, she said something about this will help you make you feel better or something like that, like he was sick or something. Get your strength back.
Yeah.
So you're like,
was he super strong already?
Yeah, what was going on? Who was he? What did that have to do? Never explained, never addressed, but yet somehow he could, Diana, who could fly into a building, make it explode, the top of it explode, he could somehow go a couple of rounds with her.
Right.
Was standing his own for a little bit. That didn't make any sense whatsoever.
30 some odd years before the super soldier serum from Captain America.
Right.
This guy's got something he can inhale and he can take on someone who can lift tanks.
Right. Yes.
So yeah, that's a little much, but I agree. I mean, I think the end is the weak spot about this arm. The first 2/3, right? Mm-hmm. And then just the whole Ares fight at the end. What I thought was weird is that I thought when the reveal of Ares, I thought he was going to transform, right? That he was just taking on the form of that guy. But no, he just puts on armor. He's just that dude at the end.
Yeah.
Like, even in the flashbacks, it's that guy.
It's him.
It's him. I'm like, okay, that's a skinny little British guy.
Yeah, and
is the god of war.
Yeah, and the whole I understand that often that whole bad guys are the heroes of their own story and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the explanation that he has of why he's done what he's done and what he wants her to see and all that kind of stuff.
There's the whole Satan monologue. I don't do bad things. I don't I don't make men do bad things. I just give them the opportunity to do it, and they do it on their own. But I'm like, come on now. The whole thing with the sword, like her destroying the God sword or the God Slayer sword right at the beginning. Yeah, there should have been much more of a fight. There wasn't more of a fight. They should have had a big climactic battle with them fighting, and then when she goes to deliver the death blow, finds out the sword doesn't work.
Yeah, then
right? And then he can explain who she is.
Oh yeah, no,
and the whole bit. But yeah, I mean, right off the bat, that loves her weaponless. So the fight after that was just there wasn't even a whole lot of punching after that. It was just kind of stuff being thrown around.
Yeah, stuff thrown around, flying around.
Yeah.
It was.
To me, it was a letdown after the No Man's Land scene, and there she didn't have to fight anybody superpowered. You know, it was just
I mean, they had some great fight scenes with her taking out German soldiers.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They looked great. Even her fight with the general was. It still was at least a fight, but it was not nearly as epic as any of those.
Right.
And then her fight with Ares wasn't even really a fight.
Right.
It was a bunch of flashbacks with him apparently having stolen Zeus's lightning powers. And even that could have been handled so much better. He threw lightning at her. Why didn't she catch it and go, you try to use my dad's powers against me?
Yeah, something like that.
Or something like, like, I'm the daughter. Yeah, you just told me I'm the daughter of Zeus. Yeah. Thanks for the lightning. Or something. None of that.
Her monologuing with a bad guy, and it turns out that she was wrong, right? Obviously, it's not Ares wasn't the one causing men to do these things, right? Mm-hmm. He was right. Men were doing it on their own. So when it comes right down to it, her basically holding up the bad guy monologuing, all that did, I mean, Steve Trevor saved the day. He's the hero of this movie, right?
At the very end.
At the very end. He's the one, he sacrificed himself to save people from this save people from the horrible poison.
I mean, she does, obviously.
His guys are the ones that blow up his team blows up the chemicals. I mean, those guys saved the day. I mean, her keeping Ares out of it was a big part of it. I'm not saying,
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to take away and say, this was really Steve Trevor's movie, because it wasn't.
Right, it wasn't. No, it's her movie.
It was just that last thing just was not handled quite as well as it could have been. Yeah. And I mean, here's the thing is, they make a big point of pointing out, it wasn't really Ares, it was mankind's just bad, it can be good or bad.
Right.
It's up to the individuals. Mm-hmm. However, when Ares died, all the German soldiers suddenly wake up and they're all buddy with the British commando guys there.
Oh, you just went against your point
I guess actually Ares was responsible for all of these dudes being bad.
Yeah.
And maybe it was just people who were close to him at the time.
See how excited we are? This is proof that, even with the least amount of stuff, we can shit all over anything because we're nerds. We can do that. But no, we loved it.
Well, here's the thing is, if it were a bad movie, we wouldn't talk about it this much.
Yeah.
We'd be all like, meh.
Like, man.
This last scene was just as indicative of the whole movie. It was just horrible, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't.
But it's such a good movie. It stands out so much.
Yeah, that's the thing is, it was building up. This is a great movie. It's got you on the edge of your seat. Apparently there was a baby crying in the theater we were in. I didn't notice it at all because I was that invested in the movie.
Yeah.
But when you get to the last 10 minutes, you're like, wait, what the hell's going on? What?
Yeah.
It just where did all these superpowers she suddenly has? I mean, I don't know if they were trying to put her on an even playing field with Superman in that, she has all of these extraneous I've got the equivalent of freezing breath and eye rays, and I don't know what they're. I'll say the coolest thing in that scene was her super speed. Because she's supposed to be super fast. I liked that element. That was the coolest thing that happened in that final battle.
Well, she's obviously super fast.
Super fast.
Block bullets.
Yeah.
You know, to block bullets, you have to be super fast.
And the casual way she would block bullets. Just like, meh, bing, bing, no worries.
Yeah. So, all right. So you were saying that you had some issue with some of the interaction with her and Chris Pine.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we'll go back a little bit. The only other thing that was a sticking point in this movie, and it's not bad.
Nitpicky.
Yeah, I guess it's more nitpicky, is that they carried on the whole her not getting the modern world too long. They just kept going on and on with the, like, why are they doing that? Why are they doing this? Why would they think that? Why are they, why is this going on?
Well, they've already established she's super smart.
Yeah, she speaks like 200 and some odd languages, which again, that was, I didn't like how that was handled. Just say she speaks them all. Because that makes sense for the, how does this Amazonian who was locked away from the world thousands of years ago speak a language that's only a couple hundred years old in its modern form?
Right.
And her answer is, we speak like 200 languages. No, just say you speak them all.
Right. That makes sense.
That's an ability of the Amazonians because of what they were made for. Right. We speak them all.
They're the bridge between gods and man.
That would make full sense, and I wouldn't question it. It doesn't make sense to say, we speak 200. But anyways, that's even more of a that's even more of a nitpicky thing. But yeah, you find out that she's very intelligent.
Yes.
Her mind works like a demigod, I guess.
But yeah.
But yet she, even after being exposed to things multiple times, can't understand that how do women fight in these things? They don't. You were already told that. Women don't really do that in this world. Right. But you can't seem to grasp that after being told multiple times or being hinted at multiple times. She doesn't get subtlety, which is fine. Right. That's a fine character thing, but
I'm not super intelligent, but I went to a world and I saw all the men in dresses and being subservient and women making all the decisions. I'd be like, oh, that's how that is. Okay.
Yeah. So
it's not right, but it's how it is.
Yeah.
I don't understand. So, all right.
So that was it. I mean, there were lots of cool, funny moments with that.
Yeah.
But then it just went on too long.
A little bit too long.
It was just, okay, let's move past that.
Last little nitpicky thing for me, and this is minor, is that I don't like the fact there's no more gods now. Like the Greek gods are gone, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, a big part of Wonder Woman comics, the Greek gods play into it, right? You know what I mean?
Well, and Ares is kind of a continuing threat.
Right.
So
well, Ares may be back, may or may not be back. We don't see him, But the fact that all the other ones are killed off, I mean, fine. But I think there's a missing opportunity there to have.
Well, and that could pose a problem to Shazam.
That's true. If all the gods,
because he's got the speed of Hermes and the wisdom of I forget who, Zeus or somebody like that. He's got the
strength of Hercules.
He's got the wisdom of what's his name?
I don't know.
Well,
he's got powers from all the gods. Yeah,
he's got some mortals and some gods.
Right.
So it's like, well, how did the wizard get those if they were already dead?
Yeah, Zeus, Hermes, and Hercules at least. He's got powers from. So
that's
the gods are dead. How's that happen? So that kind of poses a bit of a problem. But
if Shazam ever happens, which one would?
Well, Black Adam's happening, so they would hope. One would hope.
Well, and he got the same. I mean, I think he got his from a different set of gods.
Yeah,
but nonetheless,
he got the same. Yeah,
but the same kind of sense that he got him from.
But like I said, it's a really great movie. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, these few things that we had problems with don't make it not a good movie. They are things that this could have been better done.
This could have been a great movie if it wasn't for the last third of the movie, the last act of the movie.
Yeah, this could have been 5 stars instead of 4.5.
This could have been one of the best comic movies out there. The rest of it's that good, but and the end of it doesn't kill it. It's still a really good movie. It's just it had almost there with the greatness, but it is a really good movie. A movie you need to see. I can't recommend it enough. I mean, because it's just the importance of this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, more than just being a good movie, this is a watershed of superhero movies, and hopefully this will show. I mean, hopefully now we'll see more. There's some good female characters out there that deserve to have a movie.
Give Black Widow a movie, Marvel.
Yeah.
So
I mean, luckily we're getting Captain Marvel, so I'm really excited about that. So yeah, hopefully this is a turning point where we're going to see, and they don't have to be solo.
No, I mean,
they don't have to be solo films. They can still be.
Captain America still had other people in all his movies.
Right. Yeah. So. Well, and I mean, just make you don't have to have the male hero be the top bill anymore.
Right.
You can
exactly.
have you can have
you can have Captain America in a Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
Just have it about her, not him.
Yeah.
So
something along those lines. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
So yeah, I think hopefully people are paying attention. Hopefully DC is paying attention. But this is, reignited
because the tone is what did it for this movie.
It is.
It's, you need to brace that tone. Stop. I mean, I understand Darkseid it's a dark concept there, but you can still have fun.
Exactly.
And not take away from the seriousness of a threat like Darkseid.
And a superhero movie about hope and not revenge or,
pessimism or anything like that is, it can be good. Or it is good. It's what we want in a superhero movie.
So, well, that does it for this. I think, just go out and see it. We'll be back. We're sorry for the...
Yeah, we had some camera issues, so we're... hopefully for the next few weeks or so, we'll be using
this camera
a webcam to do the podcast, but we'll be replacing our camera hopefully soon. We'll get back on track with news. We're
still moving into the new studio here, so hopefully in the next few weeks we'll get things back on track. I know we missed a couple of news segments.
Yeah.
So I guess some of you are out there wondering, did anything happen this week? Grizzled Geeks didn't talk about it, so news did happen.
News did happen.
There's other sources out there you can go take a look at, but we'll be back this week with more news. Right. And hopefully
we did just upload a few of our old podcasts to iTunes and Stitcher, so you can go find those there. And then we'll get back on track we'll be coming to you with next podcast is going to be a DC Extended Universe, like we did a Marvel Extended Universe. We're going to do DC
much more hope
Universe.
This time now than Wonder Woman was
more hope. And we're going to talk about, obviously there's not as many movies to talk about, so we're going to talk about more about what we think going forward. DC
what we'd like to see.
What we'd like to see. So
what we hope they don't do.
That will be coming up in a couple of weeks.
All right. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave us a comment below about what you'd like us to talk about next. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.